What's up, guys? It's DinuzzoKek. This is going to be an informational video. Not going to see like any polls or me driving around. As you saw in the first clip, we're in a snow emergency, even though there's only a little bit of snow on the ground. I mean, I don't really have a problem with driving in it, but you know, I got this bright ass light in my face and all that, so I don't really want to drive around and record. So this is it. I'm gonna tell you guys about who I am, about all the information about this car, about past cars, tech school, professional background, other projects that you guys are gonna see that you haven't seen. I work on a lot of different kinds of cars with all different types of people. So the first thing that you're gonna learn about me is that I have a lot of friends. I know a lot of people, and I go out pretty much as I can, and I help people in my state, or at least wherever I can get to that's within reason. You know, I pretty much go out and just help people get their projects running. I do that all the time. I've helped countless cars get on the road this year. Alright, now I'm pretty sure this shit is hella bright, but this is what we got to work with. Hopefully in the future I'll have some better equipment, right? I mean, maybe if we can do something and blow up, that would be sick, right? Alright, anyways, back to what I was saying. You're gonna see me go out and helping a lot of different people getting their cars running. Pretty much 95% of the work I do, I don't charge people. Yes, a lot of times I get taken advantage of, but my concept with going out and helping people is, first of all, maybe it works out and I get a good friend. And to me, friends are worth more than money. Friendships and networking is going to take you way farther than anyone that's going to pay me $250 for a tune, or to do a simple wire harness for them. Whatever that these people need help with to get their projects on the road and so they can be happy, I pretty much don't charge. There was a Miata project that I helped with earlier in the year. A guy literally just called me on Facebook and asked me to come over and help him tune his car, and I just hopped right in my car and did it. And I had a lot of fun this year hanging out with those guys and everything, but they actually screwed me over in the end. And by the time I was done nailing the car down, fully tuned and engine swap, turbo, all that stuff, I literally haven't heard a single word from him, and he's talking shit about me on Facebook, literally. So yes, a lot of times it doesn't work out for me, but my philosophy behind going out and helping people and doing these projects and getting these cars on the road is mostly about learning. I get a lot of experience from literally just helping people, and on top of that, I have met some really good people. Now, every person that I help, you know, it doesn't always return, but sometimes it does, and when it does, it's great. You know, it really helps out, and I don't expect anything in return necessarily, besides maybe like an honorable mention. Like, you know, maybe I go and tune a car for free, and then that guy has friends, and they say, yo bro, who tuned your car? And then they're gonna be like, oh, DinuzzoKek tuned it, Dinuzzo tuning, and maybe I can get something rolling that way. So that's kind of been what I've been doing the last year or so, maybe. So let me give you some professional background before I continue with some personal stuff. When I do go door dashing, it's in my K24 Honda. I go almost every single day in this Honda and go door dashing. My wife comes with me, and I have 2 car seats in the back, and I bring my kids with me, and we go as a family. And it's about 15-20 bucks an hour. So that's what I'm doing for work right now. Schooling, I went to Wildtech in Pennsylvania 2 separate occasions. I did the regular automotive technology, and then I took the extra courses for high performance powertrain engine management systems. And then I left there and I started my careers in the autos fields. I was a Lexus tech for 2 or 3 years. They were paying me $15 an hour. I was driving 84 miles there one way to work every single day. I really liked working at Lexus. The quality of cars and the equipment, you know, everything was really nice. I didn't really mind how much they were paying me. I was doing it for the knowledge mostly. About 3 years later, I went back to school. I went back to Wildtech, and the dean and a lot of the other teachers remembered me from when I went there previously when I was 18 years old. You know, I went back when I was 21, graduated the first time when I was 18. And then I did 2.5 years of technical school the second time. So I did TIG welding classes. That's motorsports chassis fabrication. I was the first student to pioneer the partnership with Mazda program. Mazda corporate specifically, and the dean specifically wanted me to help them figure out all the kinks and bugs in this program, since they knew I had dealership experience, and at the time I owned a Mazda RX-7 and I built it there in school. So they knew that I had a way around the Mazdas, especially rotary engine stuff and Mazda history. So they respectfully asked me to pioneer that program and be the first student to take it, pass it, and tell them my thoughts and give them feedback and all that. And literally that same year, they came out publicly and released that entire partnership with Mazda program and made it a real thing at the school. So now you can go there and get straight up Mazda certified training before you graduate as a regular automotive student. So that was just one of the good things I did over there at Wildtech. What else did I do? I got my business degree there because they have applied service management, which is basically business classes. You wear a suit and tie to class every single day. You show up perfectly shaved, or you go home, and you're not allowed to miss. I think it was like 8 hours of class in the whole month, or you get expelled. It was pretty serious, because if you miss that much class, they don't give you an associate's degree. So, you know, I did all that, got the business degree. That only took me 3 months to get a business degree. The biggest reason I went back was to learn the TIG welding, because, you know, after I graduated the first time and I was out and I had an RX-7 and I was doing a lot of things, I was realizing that I really needed to learn how to TIG weld so that I could make shit, basically, and not spend, you know, $3,000 on a turbo kit when I could just make it. And so that's why I originally went back. Ended up doing 2.5 years of school there. Personally, I think that if you were going to go ahead and do all that stuff, I would have spent the money on the equipment and just learned at your house. If you want, for TIG welding in specific, obviously business classes, a lot harder to learn on your own, a lot harder to learn how to run your own business, let alone a shop, and be successful. So just went and did everything that I could so I could get it done as early in life as possible. So I graduated there anyways. I got a job at Roush in Detroit, straight out of school from there. They were paying me $17 an hour to build prototype vehicles. I was doing ground up vehicle builds. Literally, the cars would come on a roller, just a bare body. I don't even think some of these had glass in them. And it was kind of like a factory, but it has no windows. And you have to be super secret, you know, they don't want no pictures being taken of the prototype vehicles, all that kind of stuff. Let's see, what else have I done? If you look back at my Instagram and my on my channel, I got a first start on my Bridgeport RX-7. That was the car that really got me noticed in the game out here in Illinois, was my rotary build. By the way, every single car I've ever had self-tuned. I learned how to tune a long time ago, shadowing some of the best tuners in Illinois, and I'm still learning even more to this day. And sorry, I totally got off topic here. but I'm just going to continue with that because I think it's more interesting. Tuning. I learned how to tune way before I even went to Wildtech. When I was 16 years old, I had my very first car was a CRX. I did a mini-me head swap on it, like 7 or 8 different blocks from the junkyard. Literally, I would buy them for like $80 from the junkyard, no joke. Deep single cams. And I built this car when I was 16 years old. It was literally my first car. It was a boosted single cam with a chipped ECU, and I was at the time hanging out with Mike Pico at Red Mist Automotive. So what I would do is I would go hang out with him pretty much all day at his shop, and I would shadow him, and I would learn as much as I could. And to be honest, I probably should have just kept doing that instead of going to school. Me and Mike Pico, we're not friends nowadays. I tried to stay his friend, and he wasn't interested. That's okay with him. That's okay with me, and it is what it is. So learned a lot from Mike Pico, but I've also learned a lot on my own, and I've learned literally probably 5% of what I know is just from him, like just getting into the door. You know what I'm saying? The rest is all reading and just trial and error, really. So I really wanted to learn how to tune rotaries, so that's why I ended up getting an RX-7, but I didn't get that until I was about 18 years old. So let's go back to the list of cars. I had my very first car was a CRX. My second car was a CRX. I used both CRXs to make a really nice CRX, pretty much. Well, in my opinion, nice, but it wasn't really that nice. After that, I got a DA Integra. Didn't have that very long, just sold it right away, pretty much. And then I got an Ef Sedan, and that had a B16 engine in it, and it was, you know, it was kind of in rough shape when I got it, but I did a ton of work to it, got it to where I wanted it, and finally one day the engine gave out on that thing. Then somebody on Craigslist offered to trade me a bone stock FC RX-7. It was like literally 100% original NA 88 FC. It was gray, and this was while I was at Wildtech. It got traded to me. Of course, I accepted that trade. My Ef Sedan was not running, and somebody was willing to trade me an RX-7 for it that was running. So of course I did that. I literally built the entire car, S5 turbo 2 swap, every single piece of suspension I did it, turbo kit, every single thing I did it. It had a Haltech standalone before Elites even came out. It was a Platinum Sport ECU. So did that in school. You know, they had all the equipment, and it was just really nice. I mean, they had a dyno in there. I mean, every single tool you could ever imagine. So went ahead and pulled the trigger, dropped tons of cash, built my FC. It was my first one, my gray FC, in high performance powertrains, basically. By the time I got home, graduated, got home back in Illinois, I had it for a while, was street racing it and driving it around, all that stuff. It was my daily driver. It was my only car at the time. And I let my dad drive it one time, and he fucking, I was passenger seat. I never shift 5th gear in the RX-7, ever. Listen, on the dyno, 4th gear was 140 miles an hour when at redline. So I never shift 5th gear in that car. It was sketchy. My dad, you know, he had to show off in front of me, and he fucking shifts 5th gear on the sketchiest highway in Illinois, and the car's going like this, and he doesn't let out. Starts going like this. We're sliding like this, back and forth, literally going over 100. And we hit a wall in the RX-7. And my dad was drinking. Just to say, he was drinking. So, being the best son I could be, I got the RX-7 to turn on, even though it was all fucking smashed up. And I drove it on the opposite side of the highway. I drove it all the way home, so there was no police report. So, later on, you know, if I could give a message to my old self, I would have kept that car and tubed the front end. Literally cut the front off, tubed the front end. But anyways, what I ended up doing was buying my red one off of someone on Craigslist. I paid $800 for my red one, but it had a blown engine. So, but I just wanted the body so I could swap all my stuff over, you know. The only thing I couldn't salvage was all the suspension stuff I did, which was all the bushings. Like I'm telling you, you know, my dad destroyed the car, and it was unfortunate. So, got the red one, put everything in, and I had the red one for a really long time. Like even when I went back to Wildtech the second time, I still had my red RX-7. And it wasn't until I got back with the girl in Detroit that the RX-7 was down. So RX-7 was down for a couple of years. I pretty much disappeared out of the game for 3 years out of Illinois. So, you know, all the connections and everything that I made, they were pretty much gone because everyone had moved on. It's been years, literally. And now I come back out of nowhere. So let's say 3 years go by, I got no vehicle, been out of the game forever. Boom, that black EK hatch that you guys see on my channel, I purchased that, fully running and driving K-swap car. But let me tell you, that was the sketchiest fucking car I've ever purchased. The only reason I bought that car is because it would have cost more money to buy all the parts that it had. So I was never interested in the car as a whole. I just wanted the parts. And the reason was because I have a wife and 2 kids at this point, and you know, I couldn't drive a cut hatch. You know what I'm saying? I have a wife and 2 kids. I can't drive a cut hatch. So I just wanted the body. I just wanted the powertrain and the parts, you know. K-Pro V4, 08 TSX engine, and someone that I know actually built the transmission, so I know that this transmission got at least $3,000 in it. It's got all brand new gears, synchros, it has a LSD put in, it has everything that you would ever want in a legit drag car. So I bought the hatch anyways for parts, finally got the sedan, and then the car I'm sitting in right now that's running, the K24 sedan, I built this car in my driveway on jack stands. Literally like it was 40 degrees outside. I had my winter coat on still, and I was putting the engine in this car. So you can watch that on my channel. You can see all the stuff I did to this sedan. I mean, I made a lot of changes to like how the car runs and the setup, but mostly has all the same parts that I bought from the hatch. Has a 50-degree VTC. It's the K24 A208. Has 1000cc South Bay injectors. I did a full fuel system because when I bought the hatch it was on a fuel cell, so I did a full brand new tank fuel system. Has an Aeromotive 340 pump, dash 6 lines all the way front to back, and K-tune fuel rail, and it's return style. So we're ready to go turbo basically. And I still have my nitrous kit from my RX-7 as well. So the red RX-7 got built, you know, with it was a fully built engine. It was ready to hit 1,000 horsepower. I told Mike Vargas, Angel Motorsports, before they got like super popular, way before that, I was dealing with them, and I told him that I was gonna put 1,000 horsepower on the dyno with that engine. So that thing was fully built with goopy 1/2-inch bolts, everything. And who knows where, the sky's the limit. I got a 2012 Mazda Speed3 that's sitting right in front of me. Plenty of work to do on that thing that you're not going to want to miss out on. My sedan, it's in the baby stages. You know, I just got it running and driving. That's why you don't, you know, I barely just did a first launch in it. You could see the first launch video. And you know, I'm going to be putting this back on E85. I'm going to show you guys all the tuning that I'm going to be doing. Even right now, you know, I'm ready to try more timing on this car. I'm ready to try higher rev limiter, lower rev limiter. Gonna try a higher cam angle, a lower cam angle, maybe curve it differently. There's all different types of stuff that I'm gonna be trying to make the car feel faster, because I mean, I don't have a dyno. All the testing I do is on the street. So, you know, when you're dealing with like when you're dealing with NA and, you know, maybe around 250 horsepower, let's say, you'll feel the differences in how the car pulls when you make changes. It's not that big of a deal. Whew. All right. Well, leave a comment what you want to see. I got a nitrous kit, but, you know, I think since I daily drive this car, I'm going to put a turbo on this. But tell me what you guys want to see. I'll put both on here. I don't give a fuck. This is a bone stock K24. It has no oil pump. It just has the VTC. That's the only thing that's been done to, like, the engine is the VTC. Hasn't even had timing components replaced. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Let me know what you guys want to see. Leave a comment, like, please subscribe. That's ultimately gonna give me the motivation to keep, you know, recording the videos and showing you guys what I do all the time. You know, I might go see 6 or 7 different people in a day sometimes, helping them out, getting their projects running, or doing something for myself. So I'll see you guys next time. Thank you. I think that's it.